When you hear the words Mortal Kombat, what's the first thing that comes to mind? I'm asking you guys. For a lot of people, it's Scorpion, maybe Sub-Zero, maybe Fatalities, but here's something that I think modern Mortal Kombat has slowly forgotten, and it's the tournament. You know, the thing the franchise is literally named after, because if you go back to the original games, Mortal Kombat wasn't about timelines collapsing, infinite universes colliding, or God rewriting reality every 10 minutes like how it is now. It was about a simple tournament, a deadly competition where Earthrealm's greatest warriors had to fight for the survival of their world. The stakes felt simple, but somehow those simple stakes felt bigger than what we have now. And honestly, I think that's one of the reasons why I think modern Mortal Kombat feels a little lost, at least when it comes to the story. But if you guys don't know me by now, I'm Mr. Frosty Flames, but you can call me Mike. We do anything gaming news, reviews, playthroughs, analysis, and we do it in a chill way with no over editing BS. So if you like that style of content, be sure to hit that sub button and join the Mr. Frosty Flames Legion. We're closing in on 2K subs, so I'd really appreciate it if you guys sub to me and just help me reach that goal and just join the Legion, enlist in the army. Anyways, let's get back to the video. So the original Mortal Kombat story was incredibly simple. Shang Tsung hosts a tournament. Earthrealm has lost multiple tournaments in a row, and if Earthrealm loses one more, Outworld wins, and they could just invade Earthrealm or merge with it, whatever. That's it. That's the story. And yet somehow that setup created some of the most iconic moments in gaming history, and just Mortal Kombat history period, both. Why? It's because every fight sort of mattered in a way. Every character had a reason to be there. Every victory felt important. Liu Kang wasn't just trying to save the 17 timelines, he was just trying to win a tournament. Johnny Cage wasn't fighting elder gods, he was just proving himself. Sonya wasn't dealing with multiversal threats, she was just there plainly to hunt Kano. Everything felt grounded, and because it was grounded, the story became easier to care about. Another thing is the tournament format did really well was create mystery. Back then, Outworld really felt dangerous. You know, the island felt dangerous. Shang Tsung himself felt dangerous. You never fully knew what was waiting around the corner. Even having secret characters like Reptile felt legendary. Goro was a menace and he was terrifying. The entire tournament felt like stepping into enemy territory. There was this constant feeling that Earthrealm's heroes were completely outmatched, and that's what made victories feel super satisfying. Nowadays, everybody is a god, everybody has titan powers, everybody could travel dimensions. The mystery isn't really there anymore, because when everybody is an all-powerful being or just super powerful and have tons of feats, nothing really feels special. Now don't get me wrong, Mortal Kombat was always going to expand beyond the tournament eventually, especially when the games sort of got bigger in scope. Even the older games, when they got bigger, we've had things like Outworld Invasions, the Deadly Alliance, Onaga, Armageddon, all that stuff. But here's the difference. The tournament was still the foundation. Everything grew naturally from that premise. Modern Mortal Kombat feels like it skipped 10 steps. Now every story has to be bigger than the last. You know, you had a bigger villain, a bigger threat, bigger timeline disaster, bigger multiverse event, and eventually you hit a point where nothing really feels big anymore because you've already saved reality itself 10 times. What's left after that? And I think MK1 is the perfect example of all of this. And before anyone gets mad, you know, I enjoyed parts of the Mortal Kombat 1 story, but let's be honest, the first half of the game is way stronger than the second half because the beginning feels grounded. We're seeing new versions of familiar characters. We're seeing Earthrealm's champions come together once more. We're learning about this new era. It feels fresh. And then suddenly, here comes the second half. Here comes the timelines. Here comes the alternate realities. Here comes hundreds of different versions of characters. And the story starts feeling less personal. The stakes technically become bigger, but emotionally, they become smaller because it's really harder to care when the scope is so massive. And the funny thing is that Mortal Kombat already has the perfect story structure, and it's the tournament. Yeah, think about it. It naturally creates rivalries, tension, character development, progression, stakes. You don't need universe-ending threats. You don't need timeline nonsense. This isn't the MCU. Just give me a tournament where every match matters. Imagine a Mortal Kombat focused entirely on that concept. A huge tournament, different realms, new competitors, returning fighters, maybe secret participants, political historical conflicts between realms or just characters trying to earn their place, that sounds way more interesting to me than another timeline collapsing. And everyone was praising the Mortal Kombat 2 movie because it did follow this route. You know, they are doing the tournament and every match sort of matters in the tournament. They're not going into multiverse BS. They're not doing all that MCU stuff. They're just staying core to Mortal Kombat's core, and they're staying true to the fans and true to the original games. I mean, original like the arcade games. And one thing modern Mortal Kombat struggles with is giving everybody something meaningful to do, and the keyword is meaningful, because when every story is about saving reality, only a handful of characters could actually matter. The rest sort of just become jobbers, and we've seen it happen countless times. You know, characters show up, they lose a fight, then they disappear and then repeat. The tournament format sort of fixes that, because now every fighter has a reason to participate. Every match tells a story. Every victory sort of means something. Characters don't need to save existence to be important. They just need to be something worth fighting for. And at its core, Mortal Kombat was never just about fatalities. It wasn't just about gore. It wasn't just about ninjas. It was about competition. A deadly tournament between realms. And that idea is timeless. And honestly, I think that series has spent so much time trying to become something bigger that it forgot why people fell in love with it in the first place. Because sometimes bigger isn't better. Sometimes simpler is better. Sometimes the best thing a franchise could do is remember what made it special. Take a look at all the awesome Mortal Kombat games, like the Mortal Kombat arcade games and Mortal Kombat 9. They always had that core idea of the tournament, so I say that they should have brought it back. They should have made Mortal Kombat 1 focus on the tournament and focus on maybe Shang Tsung, maybe manipulating stuff behind the scenes, maybe he's defying his destiny. I mean, it's already too late to go back from all that multiverse BS, so at least just stick with Liu Kang's timeline and make sure he's the only Titan of his universe. But they just hit you with a gotcha, and then they brought in so much other BS. I mean, even crazier than MK11's, you know, time traveling things, right? You're having Titans from other timelines, and I understand they wanted a multiverse. They wanted something where every single arcade ending was canon, every single existence was canon, every single possibility was canon, but it's just breaking what made people love Mortal Kombat in the first place. Sure, okay, if NRS really wants that, we could say that there's a multiverse, but I don't want, you know, characters traveling to and from different multiverses, Titans invading from other multiverses. Yeah, you could have the multiverse, but make it so everyone is somehow confined to their own multiverse, so we could just, or their own universe, I should say. Too much multiverse is on my mind now, right? Everyone is confined to their own universe, so then we could just follow the story of, say, Liu Kang's timeline, and that's it, right? But, you know, maybe the future of Mortal Kombat isn't another multiverse war. Maybe it isn't another timeline reset. Maybe it isn't another Titan level threat. Maybe Mortal Kombat needs to remember that the thing that made it iconic in the first place is the tournament. You know, the competition, the rivalry. Scorpion versus Sub-Zero in a tournament in front of Shao Kahn or Shang Tsung. That was awesome. The mystery about it. Maybe like a mysterious Noob Saibot or a mysterious Jade or Smoke or whoever the other mystery characters were, just coming in and fighting, right? Because for a franchise literally called Mortal Kombat, it's kind of strange how little actual Mortal Kombat we've gotten lately, because Mortal Kombat is the name of the tournament, and that's what they should stick to. But that's just my opinion on it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you guys want to see Mortal Kombat return to the tournament style format, or do you like it going out closer and closer to the MCU of whatever, you know, timelines, gods, and you name it? But let me know in the comments down below. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to join the Mr. Frosty Flames Legion. Thank y'all for watching. Mr. Frosty Flames out. Ciao.